Hello, this is Tim Bryce with the National Weather Service in El Paso. This is a special weather briefing for the potential for heavy snow in area mountains Friday and Saturday night and the potential for strong winds on Saturday. Well, let's just jump right into things here. What are we expecting? Well, in the mountains, starting on Friday and lasting through most of the night, Friday night into Saturday, we could see over a foot of snow above 6,000 feet. In the lowlands, we could see rainfall amounts approaching an inch and sustained winds on Saturday of 40 miles an hour with 60 mile an hour gusts or higher. What are some of the impacts we can expect from that? Well, the snow impacts, high mountain passes will likely be closed, including Emery Pass, which is New Mexico 152. High mountain roads in both Grant and Otero counties will be difficult to drive on or will also be closed. And some higher lowland locations could also see some light snow, like down in the Boot Heel or in and around Sierra County. Some of the wind impacts, we could see when we get strong winds associated with colder temperatures during the cool season, we do oftentimes see isolated property damage, tree falls, especially in area mountains, scattered to widespread power outages, and hazardous and possibly, hazardous driving conditions with a few 18-wheelers possibly blown off the road. When I'm talking about precipitation, what are we talking about? How much rain or how much precipitation are we talking about? In the lowlands, everything there you see is going to be rain, anywhere from about a half an inch to approaching out west an inch of rain. In the mountains, that is snow mostly, so an inch and a half of liquid equivalent snow. What does that equate to when you take that snow and you melt it down? That's what you see there, over an inch of liquid equivalent snow in the mountains. What does that look like just for snow? Well, there you can see we got some snow down even into places like Silver City, could see 5 inches of snow. Cloudcroft pushing a foot of snow or higher. Like I said, at a few elevations above 8,000 feet, you could see even more than a foot of snow. So some significant snows, and like I said, they will definitely be impacting the roads. Also keep in mind with the winds on Saturday, snow and winds can usually lead to very poor visibilities, and even in area mountains, with the snow and the trees, it tends to weaken the trees. It's too much load up in the branches with the winds. They tend to blow the trees over and many times can knock out power lines. So what do we have? We got a winter storm watch in the areas in purple for 6 to 12 inches for Friday through Saturday. And we have a high wind watch for Saturday for the areas kind of there in the orange, which go along the southern tier of our area or along the international border. What are some of the uncertainties? Well, we're looking at how low will that snow line be? We've seen some things suggest that it might even be a little bit lower than 6,000 feet, but nothing lower than 5,000 feet. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. How much snow? We could get more snow than we're expecting above 8,000 feet. Some models are looking at upwards of 18 inches of snow. But right now we're saying that 6 to 12 inches of snow. And how far north will the strongest winds extend? Right now we had them lined up along the international border, but I wouldn't be surprised if they creep northward up into the mountains especially and into the upper part of the Tularosa Basin. So currently, like I said, we have winter storm watches in effect for Friday through Saturday and high wind watches in effect for the border counties for Saturday. We could also see some wind advisories outside the high wind warning areas on Saturday, and we could see some snow advisories outside the winter storm warning. So basically some of the zones that are bordering, so the areas that we have the winter storm warnings, the east slopes of the Sacramento Mountains, and some of the areas of the Gila region that are a little down lower might not see as much snow, so we would cover them with a snow advisory. So once again, summarizing the impacts, we will see the road closures and difficult driving conditions due to snow-packed and icy roads for areas of mountains above 6,000 feet Friday night into Saturday. Possible isolated property damage with power outages and trees down due to the high winds on Saturday. And like I said, we could see isolated rainfall amounts of around approaching an inch in the lowlands, which could lead to some localized flooding. So be sure to stay up on the latest information for this developing weather situation. You can always check our webpage at weather.gov/El Paso or any of our social media channels, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Just do a search for NWS El Paso. So thank you for joining me.